Mrs. Myers, I echo the sentiments everyone stated earlier, and the sponsors and your commitment and dedication to this program is simply outstanding. It's a privilege to be here and represent Chaparral High School, one of 3 of the comprehensive high schools in Temecula Valley Unified School District, and we have 2 of our top students with us this morning. The first student is Victoria Iglesias, and she represents our associated student body, as well as the entire senior class. And when Mrs. Hill nominated Victoria, it was pretty much a hands-down agreement in the office that Victoria was absolutely the right person for Student of the Month for the month of September. So without further ado, Victoria.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to all the sponsors and my school for providing for Student of the Month program. My name is Victoria. This is my mom, Leticia, my dad, Narciso, my brother, Daniel, back there, my grandma, and my best friend, Catherine. And this is Ms. Hill, the ASB director. Some future plans, I would like to go to possibly University of Boston University, University of Maryland, UC Davis to study nutrition and other science-related programs because that's is of interest to me. Currently, I am in 3 AP classes, and I'm student class president of ASB. I'm an officer in peer leaders. I'm involved in cross country, NHS, CSF, and Roots and Shoots. I feel that one of the biggest life lessons I have learned through my surroundings is taking hold of the opportunity that is around you, especially things that are of interest to you. Because with all our schools in the Temecula Valley, we're all provided with lots of opportunities to succeed, but ultimately it's up to the student to choose to take hold of these opportunities and make something out of it. So, because I plan on taking these opportunities that I have learned and taking them with me to college and study nutrition and do my best. Yeah, so thank you, and I will move this on to Ms. Hill.
I do want to take a second to thank the Student of the Month Club and the sponsors, because every once in a while we as teachers come across students that we really just want to tell the world about, and Victoria is one of those. She is senior class president. She's also in our peer leader program. She is officers, and both of those are elected positions. So not only does she involve herself in a lot of things, her peers notice, and they vote for her, and they put her in positions of leadership because they know that she's going to do right by them. In ASB last year as a junior, she was our chair for the blood drive committee. And that's where I really got to know Victoria and what drives her. And for her, it wasn't an ASB event. We do a lot of events. We do dances. We do rallies. But the blood drive was an opportunity to help people. And that is truly what Victoria, she lives for on our campus. She truly has more compassion for students and the people on our campus than so many of her peers, and to be honest, more than some of the adults that I come across. She cares about the freshmen, she cares about the seniors, she cares about the teachers. She has so much compassion for the people and just making sure that everybody is okay. And she's brought that to ASB, she's brought that to peer leaders and to our campus, and we could not be more proud of her. So congratulations, Victoria.
We're going to split the time a little bit. I have a sore throat. But I just wanted to tell you a little story about Victoria, like she said, about compassion. I think I raised all my children to be compassionate and to be givers. And just one simple way where she helps me, and I know she thinks a lot. Doesn't speak as much, but one thing that she does do is, and I know this isn't common for teenagers, but we often go to thrift stores. Because if I'm on a budget and things change financially, it's a different economy right now, and not everybody is doing quite as well as we were doing maybe 3-4 years ago. And she doesn't mind. We've gotten prom dresses there, and it's just, now it's a fun thing to do. Let's go. Let's go to thrift stores. And you know, I'm teaching her to be compassionate in your life, in your real life, that you don't overspend and that you try to get those things that mean a lot, so that you have you know, funds and time for those things that really make a difference in your life. And she's very compassionate and thoughtful in that way as well, and spends a lot of time during Thanksgiving chopping hundreds of lettuces and onions for the food that's given out during Thanksgiving on the streets in San Diego, and we do that together, and I'm just so proud to have her, and I'm blessed to have such a wonderful daughter. Thank you.
I want to share the same sentiment that Mr. Vega had in regards to the birth of his son. When Victoria was born, she was a preemie, and she fit in the palm of my hand, and she was tiny, 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 very tiny, and I had those questions for the doctor is, gosh, she has a really tiny brain in there. Is she ever going to learn? We had those questions as parents. It's like, what's going to happen here? As you can see, she's gone beyond our expectations. She's a tremendous, tremendous person. She's a second-generation American. Her grandparents worked in the fields. Her grandparents worked cleaning houses for other people. Her mother has a master's degree and is a nursing license. Her father's a doctorate in education. And I can say this with all my heart as a father, she has exceeded all my wildest expectations for my child. She is incredible. She's talented. And when I joke with her and I tell her, you know what, you've gone, in 9th grade, you went beyond all my hardest classes in high school. I really mean that. That's how talented she is. So we're blessed to have her, and I want to thank everybody for this opportunity to recognize her. Thank you.
This time I'd like to introduce the male Student of the Month for Chaparral High School, Mr. Brendan Flynn and his family, as well as Senior Chief Hodel. Brendan is our company commander for our junior ROTC unit, and one of the quick stories that I'd like to share with Brendan is on Friday we invited the entire student body, all 3,000 students, to come to the Puma Stadium for a recognition of the 9/11 anniversary. Brendan and his 160 cadets took formation on the field, and as part of that, asked the entire student body to stand for a moment of silence and to see 3,000 young men and young women from our community stand up and take that serious and understand the significance of that was truly heartfelt, heartwarming, and just a testament to the young people, not only at Chaparral, but here in this room today and in our community. So without further ado, Brendan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Compton. And I'd like to first start off thanking the sponsors and everyone for attending today. It means a lot to be considered in the Student of the Month program. I'd like to introduce my father, right here, Tom Flynn, and my mother, Cheryl Flynn, and my teacher, mentor, Senior Chief Petty Officer Michael Hodel, who I have worked alongside with for the past few years. And college and career goals. Let's start off with that. I have aspirations to, well, I'm applying to, but aspirations to attend to San Diego State University or California State University at San Marcos with a business administration major, as I have great interest in being involved in business, always have been ever since I was little. And also enrolling in the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps program at college and commissioning as a United States Naval officer immediately after, and serving for 20 years, and then after that build up from there and start my business career. Currently at school, as he mentioned, I am the commanding officer of the NJRC unit. But when I first started out freshman year, it wasn't so easy. I first came kind of from a private Catholic school that I attended 8 years with, and then I went to Chaparral High School, which, went from 500 people to almost about 3,000. It was quite a change. I was told over and over again, you have to find something to get involved with. It'll help you out. And when I joined NJROTC, first day, I was nervous at first, but I knew I found that program. And with hard work, it really paid off. What do I think is the most significant life lesson that I will take with me towards college? That was probably learned a few years ago in my sophomore year or so, when I really learned, everyone in high school is always out to, everyone thinks it's fun and you're just going through the motions. But I knew in high school that that's the learning curve. You'll figure out things and then you'll take that with you for the rest of your life. And I found out sophomore year that putting in your best effort, doing your best at anything you do, whatever task it will be, success will come. Either do your best at it or don't do it at all. As a business leader and role model I look up to, Donald Trump would say, "Go big or go home." That's something I've really looked up to him, and I've taken that to heart. And always look forward and always try to do my best, even if it's the smallest thing. Do my best and work for it. And at the end of the day, you could look back at it and say, "Hey, did my best at it. It looks good." So that's something I really learned in high school and carry that on for the rest of my life. At this point, Senior Chief.
Good morning. I think we really owe a debt of gratitude to Temecula Valley and the Chamber and all. They put on a fine program here. Also, I want to make sure that the parents and the teachers really understand that the future is bright. We do have lots of fine students in all our campuses, and the future is very, very bright. Again, everybody said everything. It's very difficult to come up as being the last speaker with another objective. But we do in the Naval Service, which includes our Marines, we do have core values of honor, courage, and commitment that we try to impress in our students. Brendan is a very honorable young man. His character is impeccable. He has the courage to stand up in front of his troops and lead them from the front. And he has the commitment and drive to carry on in life. That is our representative from NJLHC, Mr. Brendan Flynn.
Good morning. Thanks again to the Temecula Valley Chamber of Commerce and all the sponsors. It's been a real honor and opportunity to be Brendan's dad. He's always been a spark plug in our lives ever since he was little. So he kind of echoed the honor, courage, and commitment when he was a young man, and went through. He was in a private school when we put him into Chaparral. We wondered how he'd do, and I was the driving force to find something. Find an organization to get a part of. You can get lost in a large school. His older brother, is in the Navy now. Just graduated from USD down in San Diego, and so I said, his brother was in the ROTC program. We didn't want to push. He took the first semester in freshman and walked around the campus and tried to find himself. And I think back to school night, he ran into both Senior Chief and the Colonel, and they kind of knew who he was, where he came from. So he looked at me and he had this big glow in his eye, and he says, "I think I'm going to go check that out." And that was 4 years ago, and I'm glad that he did what he did. So again, thank you very much, and we're very proud of Brendan.